What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Heel Hookers Podcast, episode 131. We are back with another preview to a great weekend in fights, and I cannot believe how many times I let myself forget that UFC is not the motherfucking thing to be worried about this weekend. We got an Apex card, and it's a pretty damn good Apex card, as Kate has been pointing out for a while. Actually have multiple meaningful fights within the top 15 of multiple divisions is crazy, unheard of at the Apex. What's going on? I don't know.
Fuck it, don't complain.
Exactly, I'm not. It's just, it's awesome. It's just crazy. I was just not expecting it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, never expect it. No.
And then, not only do we have a UFC card this weekend, we also have PFL finally back with their first ever Super Fight Event. Hooray!
Yay.
You know what that means?
I am excited for
it's
these
a
two
whole
fights.
new name of, like, you know, the event that they're doing. So that means brand new titles. Not only this year did they make new titles for the PFL versus Bellator fighters, and whoever won got a belt for that. Now we got the PFL Heavyweight Super Fights Championship and PFL Featherweight Super Fights Championship on the line. That's definitely not too wordy. I'm excited.
PFL Heavyweight Super Fights Championship of the World? Wordy?
Nah, it ain't wordy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited for them, though.
PFL
It is
sometimes.
ridiculous, all of what they're doing, but these two fights are good.
Yes.
Because we
They are.
finally have Francis back in MMA.
Yeah.
Which is a little scary after what happened earlier in the year in boxing, but
Yeah.
Yeah, and
he's much better than Renan Ferreira.
yeah, and
Yes.
we just gotta start there. Easily the biggest fight of the weekend, no doubt about it. And we usually go in chronological order of how the events are gonna play out. And PFL is happening first since it's taking place in Saudi Arabia. Francis Ngannou, still to this day, the current lineal all heavyweight MMA champion of the world. He got every lineal title, I'm
Yeah, I
pretty
keep
sure, in
forgetting
MMA that matters. It's a pretty important thing. That's why it would have been
Yeah.
so big if he beat Tyson Fury, because to be fucking
Yeah.
if only. That was a year ago already. It's so crazy.
Yep.
But Francis is back almost 3 years after fighting in MMA, the last time defending his UFC heavyweight title against Cyril Gane. Obviously, everyone knows all the contracts disputes that happen, goes over to PFL, boxing fights and all that. And now we're finally here to get him against Renan Ferreira. He won the PFL tournament in the heavyweight division last year, got the PFL title there, and then kind of unified in a way with Ryan Bader at heavyweight.
Lineally.
Yeah. So he's got a little bit of hype on him coming into this one. 4-fight win streak, got a whole bunch of finishes. Did have a whole lot of bullshit before his good run. Had 3 no contests at a point going in the PFL. Not great at all. But it doesn't matter.
Won every year, 21, 22, and 23.
Well,
Very nice.
God damn it, does that mean? Yo, is he gonna fucking juice the fuck up to a decision win over Francis and then it gets overturned because he's juiced up?
No, actually, do you know why the first one was overturned?
Verdum?
Yeah.
Yeah, because...
that's the one where he tapped and then...
Yeah. Verdum, the honorable Brazilian champion, a motherfucker taps in his fucking triangle, or... I forget if it was a triangle or an armbar.
Triangle.
Yeah.
Triangle.
And taps, instantly lets go, and then he's just like, well, I'm punching you for a TKO finish, and it was like 5 seconds after that. That was so terrible to watch. I remember that. I was so upset.
Fucking. Yeah, that's dirty as fuck.
I was honestly hoping it was for a drug test again, because that would have been really funny.
It would have been.
But
either way, we're here, only a few days away at this point. Francis, 17-3 in MMA. Renan Ferreira, 13-3 and 3 no contest in MMA. Renan, he's tall, he's long, and he's powerful as hell. Especially at heavyweight, that there's always the chance that you can go out there and get the knockout. You know what I mean? There's like no surprise ever. Francis, notoriously has had an amazing chin, and just he has been hit with some pretty big bombs throughout his career, survived all of them. Nothing ever really seemed to phase him too bad. But like you mentioned earlier, that knockout loss to Anthony Joshua, man, that is the type of knockout that changes you.
Yeah,
like,
it was devastating. Because with it being in boxing, it's like he got dropped real bad the first time, right back up, and then out.
Yeah, because it was the end of the first round.
Oh, okay, that's
he
what
gets
it was.
dropped, makes it to, like the second round gets dropped, and then the third one just that was just so bad.
Yep.
It was so hard to watch that. Then just having to deal with the loss of his kid afterwards, with all of that, it's like he has had such an incredibly rough year. I don't know how Francis is going to come back and actually look in this fight. I feel like it's probably a bit too soon after taking such a bad knockout loss. And then all the personal I just don't know how he's going to show up.
I hope he shows up as best as he can.
Yeah.
Like, let's go out there and knock dude out.
Nah, for real. Henin 4 inches taller, but only having a 2-inch reach advantage at 85 to 83. So he's a lot taller.
Yeah.
But like Francis has actually fought someone who's almost as tall as Tyson Fury.
Yeah,
so he does understand the range.
Yeah, 100%. And I honestly feel like that is going to be, with the striking, the biggest fight in terms of experience that will help him, because Tyson just an absolute monster in there in terms of height and reach. It's ridiculous how big he is. Yeah. And being that big in the way that he's able to move and throw out punches, you know what I mean? He's not some just lumbering guy that, is just throwing these big shots that are slow, easy to see. He can jab you up real good. Francis dealt with him very well in that. So Henin being, extremely explosive as well, I feel like that'll definitely play to Francis's favor. But I don't know. Do you think we're going to see more of a grappling approach from Francis in this one? I wouldn't be surprised if that is what he might try and go out there to do.
Just take him down and grind and pound him out.
I feel like it all is going to depend on how Henin decides to fight. Because if Henin goes out there and does and he does overextend on shots, Francis can counter. And that counter is coming in fast, coming in hard, and you're not going to survive it.
No, yeah. I fully expect Henin Ferreira to go out there and basically try and do what he did in his last fight against Ryan Bader, 20-second knockout. You know what I mean? I don't think he's going to be looking to play any games. I feel like he wants to go out there and make a statement against Francis Ngannou. This is Francis's first fight in PFL since he's been signed. It's been a long-awaited thing. There is nothing that would be better for Henin Ferreira's career than getting a win over Francis. You know what I mean? So he's lost before. You know what I mean? He's been finished before, so I don't feel like he's gonna. I feel like he's gonna have a real kill or be killed mentality going into this one, which is definitely gonna be the best way for him.
Yeah, I agree.
But like you said, Francis has been improving so much in just with the 2 boxing fights and really working on that. In his last MMA fight with Cyril Gane, just showing all of the wrestling improvements that he's been making in his career. He's with Extreme Couture. They are an amazing team. I feel like they're going to have a pretty solid game plan. And I feel like as long as Francis is okay and he can kind of put everything that has happened, just to the side while he's in there and he's able to perform at his best, I really hope that we get to see just a better, not even, I was because in my head thinking a vintage Ngannou performance, but not even that, a new, improved, just better Francis Ngannou. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a vintage 25-second knockout from Francis Ngannou.
Bro, if he just went out there and just fucking
Jorginho'd him.
that's literally what, bro. It would that would just genuinely show how different the striking is between MMA and boxing. After all this time and everything, I know Henin is different level fighting in PFL than UFC, but it's bro, if he could just go out there, this big monster guy, and just fucking swing my fucking arms and he's unconscious, that's fucking stupid, bro. What the fuck?
No, it is. But that's the thing. Sometimes, it is funny, but it's like sometimes we gotta understand the level we're talking about. And it's like in terms of the striking, like he's been able to do that to so many motherfuckers.
Yeah. No, yeah. I don't even know if excited is the right word for this fight. I got a lot of feelings about this fight for sure.
Yeah.
But
It's scary.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun though. No, like no matter what ends up happening, I can't imagine that this is gonna be a lackluster MMA fight, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But moving on down to the co-main event, the second Super Fights Championship on the line, featherweight division on the female side. Chris Cyborg, the current reigning defending Bellator female featherweight champion, versus Larissa Pacheco, PFL featherweight champion.
Mm-hmm.
We're finally here. The two just big brawling Brazilians that are the nastiest strikers in the game right now, especially with Amanda Nunes retiring and not being around.
Yeah.
There is no one in women's MMA that is more devastating on the feet than these two women.
Yeah.
This one I'm excited for. Like,
bro, because it's like talking about the levels in striking with the last fight. Larissa Pacheco, she is a great fighter. She has amazing power. She has never fought a striker like Chris Cyborg.
No.
Not even fucking close. She has been on a great run, beating a lot of people in very impressive fashion. But it's like, she fought Elena 3 times, you know what I mean, in the last like 3 years or something. She has just been fighting so many women that should not be in there with her, have no ability to deal with that power or pressure at all. And Chris Cyborg don't give a fuck about any of that shit. She's gonna walk right at Larissa, trying to put her own bombs on her. Since leaving the UFC and like getting into Bellator, Chris Cyborg's also been heavily using her grappling much more in some of these title fights than what she used to. Definitely expecting the best Chris Cyborg that we can get, given, what is she, 38 years old now?
39?
Yeah.
Yeah, 39.
39. The best 39-year-old Chris Cyborg we can get against a prime, ready 30-year-old Larissa Pacheco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely rough for Larissa. I hope she can do it, though. I fuck with her. And
yeah,
it would be oh my god, it'd be so good for her. Because it's like, yeah, Chris Cyborg on the older side. So, like, if Larissa can get it done, because I feel like she's not given the credit she should, because she went 0-2 in the UFC how many fucking years ago
10
now?
years ago.
10 years ago when she was 20 years old. And her losses are to Jessica Andrade and Jermaine Durandamine.
Former champ.
And then she went to PFL, and it's like, you can only get the competition you're gonna get in PFL. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like it's all been terrible, but it's obviously not the same as someone like Chris Cyborg, who's just been all over the place, you know, and she had enough fights in the UFC, and she really did get that experience. And then on top of it, just all the boxing and whatever else she does, because then she's Muay Thai, kickboxing, I don't know, but boxing more recently. It's just gonna be real tough for Larissa.
Yeah, with Chris, it's like every meaningful title that she could have grabbed in her career, other than I guess PFL at this point, because she didn't enter the tournament last year.
Yeah.
It's like she's won them all. UFC champion, Bellator champion, Invicta champion, Strikeforce champion. Like, she undefeated in all of those promotions other than the UFC, with the one loss being to Amanda Nunes, the greatest fighter of all time on the women's side. You know, like, she lost her pro debut, went on like a 20-something fight win streak, lost to Amanda, and then hasn't lost since. Like,
yeah, she's 27-2, like you said, her pro debut in Amanda. And just of those 27 wins, 21 of them are knockouts, 1 sub-5 decisions. Like, she's dangerous as hell.
yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, man. Just both of them on such good runs right now. Because Chris Cyborg in MMA, she's on, what would that be? A 7 fight win streak.
And Larissa on a 10 fight win streak.
Yeah. So, neither of them have lost in years. This is going to be such a good fight. Are you guys leaning any sort of way on who do you think is going to be able to get it done?
Fun.
Fun.
I just honestly expect this to be a really good fight. I don't know how to lean. I don't know who.
Personally, I do have a leaning, but it's like a 55-45 situation. and I am leaning towards Larissa.
Yeah.
Younger, Chris has lost before and by KO TKO to Amanda Nunes.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who I could you can draw up comparisons between Larissa and Nunes, especially in terms of the power.
Yep.
In terms of the striking, Larissa is technical while also just deciding sometimes to just be like, fuck it, I'm just gonna bomb on you.
Yeah.
So if this turns into a we're just gonna throw bombs at each other, it's gonna go either way. It's gonna be who gets clipped first.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna brawl stupid like that, and grappling might end up playing a factor in it, but it's like that's where I know you're saying that Chris Cyborg, like, she's been using more of her grappling. It's like Larissa is not bad on the ground.
No, not at all.
She definitely has a good submission threat too, like, scary.
Yeah.
Because you got Chris, who's might be using her, like, grappling more. 1 sub win, 1 sub loss, but Larissa has 8 submissions on her record, 11 knockouts. She's been knocked out once, subbed once, lost 2 decisions. You know, like...
Yeah.
It's a tough fight for both of them. I'm not sure who's gonna get this.
I'm kind of with you, Ginger, of, like, a slight leaning, but I'm actually leaning the other way. I'm slightly favoring Chris Cyborg in this one. I really hope Larissa can get it done and to just really show, like, she's here as the next generation, you know what I mean? But because, like, you know, with the comparisons of Larissa to Amanda Nunes, Amanda is way more aggressive and wild with her striking than what Larissa Pacheco is. She is, like, she will have her moments of, like, I'm, like, going to really push and throw big shots, but I feel like that's usually more of when, like, she knows that she has her opponent hurt, or, like, she's just
smart.
Yeah, exactly.
No, yeah.
I feel like with Chris Cyborg in front of her, she is going to be extremely aware of all of the threats coming at her. I feel like that patience might play against her a little bit, and then she might let Chris Cyborg fight herself a bit too much into this fight, and Cyborg might be able to get it done.
I can see that.
I feel like if Cyborg wins, it's probably going to be by a decision. I could see Larissa...
She's never lost a decision. She doesn't go there very often, but she's never lost one.
And I can see Larissa getting it done by decision or knocking out Chris Cyborg at any point in the fight too. You know, like, if it does getting to, like, a brawling situation, I feel like that's gonna favor Larissa the most. And I feel like with her youth and just the power and everything, like Cyborg getting chinned already, you know, like being 39 years old, I wouldn't be surprised if she's able to land that better shot first.
No, yeah.
But it's fucking close, man.
I do think that Larissa's going to go to the grappling first, though.
You think so?
I do think so. Because it's like you said, she's smart, she's patient, and she kind of knows her way. And it's like you said, the last few people that she's fought, Elena, Amberly, Brock, like, you know what I mean? It's been easy fights for her. Marina giving her a bit of a tougher time.
That was definitely a much better fight for her.
Yeah, 100%. But it's like, I feel like since preparing and then getting the win over Kayla Harrison after losing to her, like, she probably, like, spent so much time improving on her ground game to what she already had, because she's like, no, I gotta be stronger in there, I have to be better, that I wouldn't be surprised if, like, yeah, at some point she's like, you know what, this might be the route, and just tries to sub her way out.
Yeah, that's entirely possible. That would be, I'm interested, because, we'll see. Because I feel like Chris will probably go to the grappling first, but...
It all depends, but that's why I'm like, I don't know. Like, I think it's going to be fun, though, and I'm excited for this one.
100%.
No, yeah.
Like, the main event, I have no doubts that this is going to be a very good fight, and, let's fucking go. Cannot wait. The feature bout is also a pretty damn good fight.
We saw it already.
Yeah, but Bellator title on the line, not no super fights or anything like that. Johnny Eblen, he's back defending the title, 15-0, taking on Fabian Edwards again for the second time. Like Kate said, we did already see this before. I'm pretty sure it was a third round finish for Johnny Eblen in that one.
21 seconds into it.
I mean, I don't know, because I don't think that Johnny Eblen looked the best in the Impa Kasangana fight. I feel like
Yeah.
he really let him like Impa fight his way into just spots and like just hold him. I don't know. I felt like if Johnny was gonna win, he might just really be able to get it done in like a more impressive fashion. I know that he got the finish over Fabian Edwards, but he was struggling a little bit with just like some of the exchanges, like the grappling. He wasn't as successful as he normally is. I know Fabian got like a really good cut like landed on him and had Johnny leaking in that fight. So it's like he definitely did have to go through adversity to get it done in that one. I'm gonna assume that Fabian, with just coming from a very good camp with his brother Leon, having that fight with Johnny Eblen, they're gonna be able to work on some things, know where to improve. This could be a very like just a lot closer fight than what it was the first time.
No, yeah, I was kind of just making the joke because I know that there was the adversity in it, but it's just how soon it is after. It's only been a year. Fabian, they've both fought one time since. You know what I mean? It's just this Bellator shit.
And
now
like
PFL.
you're saying, like him coming from a good team with his brother Leon Edwards and all that. It's like Johnny Eblen comes from ATT, so it's not like he's come. So like he's got plenty of sparring partners he's able to
for sure
go with. So it's like he's definitely going to be able to improve and definitely come up with a game plan for Fabian Edwards. And like that's the thing. Sometimes rematches like it ends up being either like you either get the Izzy and Whitaker thing where first one was a finish, and then second one goes all the way to a decision, or you get the opposite where it's like, yeah, that first one went to a decision, then all of a sudden, like, someone just knocks the other one out in the second fight.
No, yeah. It's have no idea how it's gonna play out. All I know is that I'm definitely rooting for Johnny Eblen to retain the title and remain undefeated. That would definitely be nice to see. But yeah, hopefully Edwards able to give him a good scrap, and we just get another good fight out of that. Just got to get all good fights at least out of the title fights for this one. Really make the pay-per-view worth it.
Yep.
Yes.
Other than that, the only, I feel like, real big notable fight left on this card, AJ McKee taking on Paul Hughes. Paul Hughes was the very good prospect that PFL was able to sign that the UFC missed up on, and just missing some more of these prospects. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But 22-1 for AJ McKee, 12-1 for Paul Hughes. Fighting at 155 pounds. Don't really know too much about Paul Hughes, but I know AJ McKee just a very solid fighter. I don't really. I
thought it's gonna be a good scrap.
Yeah, that's really all I'm looking for.
I've seen a good amount of hype on Paul Hughes on Twitter and all that from a lot of guys. A lot of guys I like trust with their opinion on like fighters and prospects and all that.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see Paul Hughes doing really good here, but it's also like, goddamn, he's going up against AJ McKee real fucking quick as well, who's an extremely good fighter as well. So
yeah,
I'm
AJ
hoping
a
for
little
a
bit taller, a little bit longer too.
Yep.
AJ gonna go out there and grapple him.
Probably.
This guy's a striker, so I'm just like, I wonder how he can handle it.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, because for a bit, I definitely was not high on AJ McKee at 155 pounds, but he has definitely just been consistently proving me wrong. Definitely just filling out and looking better each fight that he's out there. So, yeah, just excited to see how this one plays out, see who's able to get it done. I wouldn't be surprised whoever wins if they start, like, looking to push towards some sort of title fight against someone somewhere. I don't fucking know.
They have 1 million titles, so they could fit in wherever the fuck they want.
Yup, and they could also just make a new one, like, too. They could, just do fucking PFL America and just make fucking AJ McKee the champ. You know what I mean? Like,
who's currently the 155 champion in Bellator?
Usman.
Yes, Usman.
Yep.
Start working towards that.
That's honestly probably, yeah. I would not be surprised if the winner is close to an Usman fight. It's like, I don't know who the fuck else they got to fight. I mean,
and it's almost like if they had rankings on their website.
Rankings are for chumps.
Yeah. But yeah. Other than that, not too much going on in the card. Got some undefeated fighters. Rafael Stotts is back. Should be some good fun. But yeah. 10 fight card overall for PFL.
Not a lot going on them prelims, not gonna lie.
No, it's the main event and co-main we're all here for, and then there's a couple of decent fights within the main card.
Yes, exactly. But switching gears from PFL over to UFC Fight Night Apex something, I don't know. It's motherfucking Michelle Pajeda time taking on our boy Fluffy Anthony Hernandez. What a difference in fucking styles between these two gentlemen.
Yeah, like, listen, I love Fluffy, but is he gonna be able to handle Michel Pereira coming out at the fucking bell and just running at him with everything he has and survive the first 30 seconds?
I don't know.
You know?
It just all depends, because if Michelle comes out and throws, like, let's just say double hook, left and right hook, just a duck under into a double leg, and then we can really see what's up at 185 with Michelle.
Bro, it's
Michelle's good on the ground too, though. Like,
yes.
that's
no,
why
I know, but like,
no,
that's
yeah,
why it's like.
But it's like he's so fucking wacky that. Sorry, Charger came out. He's so wacky that it's like, I don't know if that's exactly how he's gonna come out. Like.
No, I know. He could come out any which way.
Fucking duck down, and he's like, "Oh, flying knee!" Like, it's just.
Yeah.
It's a scary first minute from him. You know what I mean? And not that he gets less scary, but it's just does Fluffy survive? You know?
No, yeah, it just all kind of depends. Like, I'm very interested to see how this goes, because I do feel like, even though, like, yes, Michelle is good on the ground, I feel like Fluffy's more likely just better.
Oh, yeah, I definitely believe that for sure. It's like, yeah.
And he could possibly get a finish there.
Oh, that I don't know. That's where...
That's the interesting part.
I feel like this is definitely going to have to be one of those fights for Fluffy where there's no way... Like, he is the better grappler, for sure. But to your point of, is he stronger? Bro, Michelle is such a goddamn freak athlete. It's like, there's no way round one, Fluffy, even on, like, the most beautifully timed and executed double leg takedown or whatever, he's still fighting way harder for that takedown than what he should have to against other opponents. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, he is going to have to work so much in that first round. He's going to have to survive a motherfucking beating, because I feel like he has to be ready. 5 rounds of Michel Pereira putting it on him, and he's just surviving for him to get that dump off, and then for him 2 and 3. Okay, now I'm dragging you down, I'm beating you up, I'm wearing you down, you're in my game, and now maybe for a late finish, or you know what I mean, like 2 rounds to 1 unanimous decision or something. Like,
yeah,
that's the thing. Like, we haven't seen Michelle at 185 have to go past a minute 6.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm really curious about, especially considering Fluffy is going to try to grapple him.
yes.
And that's going to take a lot of energy, because he does a lot of big motions to get up.
Yes.
He uses a lot of explosiveness to get up. And it's like, how much energy is he actually going to, is he going to drain doing that? And like, what is he going to look like round 2, round 3, round 4 after doing that?
Fuck, for a second I forgot this was a fucking 5-round fight. Holy fucking
yeah,
shit.
This is a 5-round fight.
God. Okay.
So that's where it's one of those things where
and that changes.
Where I wonder how, like, moving up in weight classes actually, like, would affect someone like Michel and his cardio and everything, because obviously he's fighting much more explosively because he's not draining himself so much, so he has that extra energy, whatever, but he's obviously also carrying more weight and all of that.
Yep.
Because he's gone to decision plenty of times. Yeah, he's lost 7 of them, but he's won more at 11, and he is on a 8-fight winning streak, and 4 of those are decisions. You know what I mean? But I know that that's down at 170, so that's where I'm just like, I wonder how that's going to play out with the cardio, and like after he uses all the like more explosivity that he's been using in the first round, and how it plays out longer for sure. Like, I totally get what you're saying. I'm just
and that's
curious
the thing,
to
though,
see.
like with all the UD decisions, like all the decisions, like his last 4 decisions, we'll just go with that right now. Ponzinibbio, Fiala, Nico Price, Chaos Williams, none of them are grapplers.
Yeah.
None of them were going to take him down. None of them were going to force him up against the cage and really force him to defend or have get up. That's what I'm trying to see what happens.
No, yeah, for sure.
It's going to change so much because he uses so much explosiveness to get up and to get out of these positions that it is going to drain him a lot faster than it would for a lot of other opponents. And that's when you start to get tired. You make those mistakes. All of a sudden, he makes one mistake trying to get up, Anthony Hernandez on the back for a rear naked choke. Or he's on him for a triangle, an arm triangle or something.
Shit, I mean, even flip it around, though, because it's like, let's say Fluffy does immediately go for the grappling, so Michel doesn't really get that let off of all of that explosiveness right away. He's big in there, he's strong in there. How is Fluffy gonna be after trying to hold him down or grapple?
That's the other.
Like,
no, I know. that's where it becomes like who can dig deeper, and it just like
it's going to be a fun fight.
I don't think he's ever been 5 rounds.
No, I don't think so.
Anyway, I think Michelle by knockout.
Yeah.
Not trying to count Fluffy out, because if he wins, I won't be surprised. I'm just leaning towards Michelle knockout and/or hurts him into a sub. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like
he has been 5 rounds.
Okay. I feel like
LFA against Brendan Allen.
Nice.
Got the win.
I feel like for Michelle Ferreira, like you guys saying, like 185, he's been way more explosive and just been all over the place. Back to just that craziness. I feel like the smartest thing for him is to go out there and start trying to just absolutely rip kicks and just shots to the body on Fluffy. Because if he starts doing that, one, either they're going to land, and I feel like he could easily hurt Fluffy to the body and probably get a body shot TKO. And then two, if, like, he should know that if he's going to the body, Fluffy's going to try and grab a hold of him and go in on a takedown right after. Bro, if he's just ready, like, front kick to the body into, like, a flying knee off of the takedown right out, like, I feel like he can really set himself up for some giant shots to land and get Fluffy out of there pretty early into the fight, like he has his past few opponents at 185 pounds. If it does go past the first round, though, I'm entirely expecting Fluffy to win this fight either by decision or submission. I just really am not sure.
I feel that.
First main event for Michelle Ferreira, 185 pounds. I don't think he's going to fight in a way round 1 where he's expecting to go 5 rounds, and that's going to probably
that's
fuck
Michelle,
him over.
though. Like,
yeah, exactly. He's
here for a good time, not a long time.
But that should be an absolutely amazing fight at 185 pounds. 2 guys in the back half of the top 15. See where either one of them go after a good win here, hopefully. In the co-main event, old man Rob Font just still hanging around in the top 15. Constantly taking more damage and getting beat up by more fighters as his career is going on. And he's taking on young up-and-comer Kyler Phillips.
He still ain't never been knocked out, though.
Bro, this is going to be so bad for Rob Font. This is going to be so bad. I don't think there's much Rob can do to win this fight, other than if it's like... But I was going to say just kind of one of, like, the Adrian Yanez kind of moment. You know what I mean? Like, all this hype coming up gets, like, into, like, the top 15, and he gets Rob Font as, like, his real first big test, and he just gets absolutely smashed. You know what I mean? I just don't think it's going to be that same kind of thing at all, though. Kyler Phillips is way more dynamic with the striking. He's way more technically sound to keep him safe. His footwork is way better. Like, he just has such a bigger variety of skills than someone like Yanez that this is going to be his boost into the top 10.
Entirely possible. For me, it all depends on Rob Font and if he is able to land his jab, because we have seen it before with Rob Font. If he's landing his jab, he's more than likely he's going to be winning the fight. Yeah. Because once he starts getting that jab going, he starts getting his combinations off. He's a hard motherfucker to, stop that momentum off of. You have to do something like when he was fighting Marlon, and Marlon was literally knocking him down to get him to stop that momentum from building.
No, yeah, because it's like, realistically, he hasn't been doing great on paper.
Yeah.
Because of, like, the losses he's been taking lately, but those losses are to Figgy, Corey, Cheeto, and Aldo. Yeah. Beating Yanez, Cody Garbrandt, Marlon Moraes, Ricky Simone, Sergio Pettis, like, obviously this is going back to 2018, but you know what I mean? Like, this is definitely tough for Kyler Phillips.
Yeah.
Although Rob might just be getting too old at this point at 37 years old, I don't know.
Yeah.
I do think Kyler got this, though.
Yeah. Well, he's just one of those guys where it's like, you look at the losses, it's a very certain level and caliber of fighter, and you look at his wins, and it's a different level. You know what I mean?
It's like, if you beat him, you are where you're supposed to be, and if you lose, you have time. You have things to work on.
Yeah, exactly. So, I know that Rob Font hasn't, been actually finished KO TKO in his career, but he gets dropped and hurt in so many fights, and I would not be surprised if Kyler's the one to actually get the one on the record, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, yeah. I could see it.
It's just, again, though, with a lot of these fights that I've just been talking about with the big ones, it's going to be a good motherfucking fight, though, for sure. There ain't no way this is boring.
This, for an Apex card, like, their main card is solid.
Yeah.
Solid.
Because then we head on down. Head on down to the featured bout at 125 pounds. You know what the fuck we be talking about with 125 pounds. It's always great fights, especially with guys that aren't even in the top 15. And we got two fighters right outside of the top 15 at 125 pounds. Motherfucking Sumadarji, who probably mostly ever... Oh,
Sorry, I was just going to say, why have I never realized that all of Sumadarji's losses are by submission?
Yeah, I feel like I remember that the last time going into the Tim Elliott one, or
Tim Elliott,
maybe it was the Joshua Van one, because I know that like recently we were talking about it and like just seeing
was it him that we were talking about it?
It would have been probably, because that I don't know.
That was the last fight he got. That was canceled for him.
I know he got slept in his last two. Triangle, arm triangle, and then triangle choke. Yeah. But either way, sorry.
No, you're
just
good.
Seeing that, and I was like, bro, how?
But yeah, with the second to last one, that loss to Matt Schnell, man, what an absolute wild, amazing fight that was. That was such a grueling war, and just the pictures from that shit afterwards, after Matt Schnell put him unconscious, and then just starting to stay like. Just absolutely insane. Sumadarji is always down for a scrap. And we know Charles Energy Johnson is, though, too.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Has only ever lost via decision.
Yep.
And for some reason...
versus only subbable.
And for some reason, I have a feeling this fight's going to end in KO. Because, bro, I just don't feel... Hold on, before I talk too much ahead of myself, let me double check, because
yes,
bro, Sumadarji's 28 years old.
Yeah.
How old did you think he was? 34?
At least.
He's only 3-3 in the UFC. Come on, Holmes.
I just thought he was one of those older guys, you know what I mean?
I thought he was around the same age as Charles Johnson as well. 33, 34.
Bro, that is so fucking crazy. Okay, well, Charles Johnson being 5 years older, I did not expect that. Yeah, he is just such a cleaner striker than what Sumadarji is. Like, I know, like you said, Sumadarji's only lost by sub, but 6 KO wins for Charles Johnson on his record. I would not be surprised if he's able to get another one. Could easily go to decision and just be a crazy back and forth fight, but...
No, both fighters
Charles
16.
Gonna go out there and put him to sleep via sub 3 times in a row.
I mean, that could happen. Both fighters 16-6. Someone 6 has got to go.
I mean, the last time Charles Johnson won a fight via submission was Anaconda choke in 2021 in LFA.
Okay, that's not too long ago.
No, that's not.
We've seen crazier things
happen.
He
was 7-2 going into that bout. It feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah, and he had 4 boxing fights right before that.
Incredible. But yeah, so I'm definitely hoping that Energy is able to get it done, extend his winning streak to 4, get himself a top 15 ranking, and really start working up in that division and see what he can do. He 33 years old, does not have much time to try and work towards like a title or something like that, so let's see what he can get done. And if he can't even get there, he's just going to be around for a while putting on amazing fights, so I got no problem with that either. But the next the next notable fight to talk about on the main card, Brady Heastan, solid up-and-coming fighter, taking on Jake Hadley, an alright up-and-coming fighter. Bro, Brady gonna go out there and just fucking ragdoll Jake Hadley, huh?
Yeah, probably.
That's gonna be the plan for Brady, yeah.
I just feel like with just Hadley coming up from 125 pounds, you know, it's like he's gonna be a little bit too small, and Brady is very good. He's physical in there, tough as nails too, and he's going to push the pace and try and put it on him. So if Jake Hadley can hang for the entire 15 minutes, then I feel like Brady Heastan's gonna win the decision, no problem. Hadley's never been finished before, but I would not be surprised if he finds himself getting subbed or something like that.
Yeah.
So I guess it's all going to depend on how much he's filled out for the division, because Jake Hadley, 5'7", 70-inch reach. Brady Heastan, 5'8", 71-inch reach.
Yeah.
And his last fight was short notice, but he took it at 135.
Yeah.
And he broke his 2-fight losing streak. He won that pretty clearly. He looked good there. So I feel like he kind of was like, shit, maybe I can hang at 35, and committed.
Yeah.
I mean, they missed weight in that one, so that's always that's always a fun one. Missed weight by a pound, so not too terrible, but like you said,
short
notice. Short notice.
But
I don't remember how short of notice though, but
I don't know. But either way, Brady Heastan, 3-fight winning streak, 2 finishes, and got 2 finishes in the last 2 wins. I wouldn't be surprised he goes out there, gets himself another finish, starts slowly climbing towards that top 15 status in the bantamweight division. 25 years old, it's not like he has much hype or anything on him, so just going to be another one of those guys like a Bautista or Martinez, where it's like 6-7 fights and then you'll be in like the top 15 probably.
Yeah.
No, yeah. It's going to be interesting to see where he goes from here.
Yeah. But last fight on the main card, not the greatest fight, but they're here because it's 2 old men, and they are going to put on probably a pretty fun scrap. Darren Elkins, the damage, he takes so much damage, he got it tattooed on his chest. And you got Daniel Pineda, 5-7 in the UFC.
It's the pit versus the damage.
It's not a Darren Elkins fight until he's bleeding, you know what I mean? That's just...
It's an
just
old man's
one of
fight,
those
but
things.
whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was going to be 3 inches taller.
Who, Pineda?
No,
Pineda's
Darren.
the short one.
What?
5'7" to 5'10".
Bro, it's
69-inch reach to 71-inch reach.
It's basically so crazy how people feel in my head when what they actually are.
I know, right?
I would have assumed Pineda was so much bigger than him. Well, Pineda, the slight favorite heading into this one. I feel like good chance he's probably able to get it done, but I wouldn't be surprised either way. Huh?
Somewhat understandable, but at the same time, I don't know. I feel like, god damn, overturn, no contest, no contest, no contest. God.
What?
His last 2 wins are Tucker Lutz and Herbert Burns. Darren Elkins' last wins are TJ Brown, Tristan Connolly, Derek Minner. I actually feel like Darren Elkins might be able to win this one.
I'm pretty sure all of those names you said are guys that are no longer in the UFC. But very nice.
Neither is Herbert Burns.
No, yeah, I just meant like everyone that you said. Yeah.
No, it's just like, what do you want me to say?
No,
like,
I know.
These wins I feel like are better than these wins, even though they're all not in the UFC anymore.
Yeah, I got no idea, but it should probably be a decent scrap for whatever they can perform at their age. That's the main card, though. Prelims, we got some decent fights on the prelims. Pretty disrespectful that Mateus Nicolau and Asu Almabayev is on the prelims, given that they're both top 15 fighters, and then you got like Brady Heastan and Jake Hadley on the main card.
I mean, I get why Sumadarji and Charles Johnson are on the main card because they're very exciting, but it's like that's a fight in the same division above ranked fighder.
Yeah, and that's the featured bout.
Just throwing that out there.
Because it's going to be fun. I think this one's going to be fun too, though.
Yeah.
No, yeah, 100%.
More than likely going to be a more grapple-heavy fight compared to the other flyweight fight, I would assume.
Which is good for Mateus because, like Sumadarji, who's only been subbed, all 4 of Mateus Nicolau's losses are knockouts. And Asu is not knockout-heavy at all. He's very grapple-heavy. He has a big submission threat, but he's not much of a knockout artist. Overall, he is 20-2 losses, and he has 3 knockouts.
Yeah.
Like, he's a sub guy, or just straight decision, so good for Nicolau. He might be able to win this.
Yeah. Because, I mean, definitely going to be a big step up and a test for Asu Amabayev heading into this one. And, yeah, like you said, just being grapple heavy, we know Nicolau is a very solid grappler. And so it's just, yeah.
Like, this was the type of fight he needed. I'm not sure this was the type of fight Asu needed. Because if they want to bring people up into the division and they want new names, I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, the much smarter path would have been they should have put Bruno Silva against Mateus Nicolau. And they should have done Asu Amabayev versus Manel Kape.
Oh
you know
my
what
God.
I mean?
No, but yeah, seriously.
That's how you get both of them into the top 10, no problem.
Yeah, because it's like Asu's 3-0 in the UFC. His wins are over Ode Osborne, CJ Vergara, and Jose Johnson.
Yeah.
He has never fought anybody near the caliber of Mateus Nicolau. So without him having like the strong suit where Nicolau is chinny, this is easily, I think Nicolau got this. Unless he just surprises the shit out of me and he's much better than I thought. You know what I mean? I think he's solid, but he just hasn't proved himself.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're really just trying to get more people into that top 5 because everyone has fought each other.
Yep.
For sure. I respect it. They definitely need to get that done for sure and just need some turnover in. Because it's always great when you get all these great fighters that get to the top of the division, but then once they all fight each other and then they're still just better than everyone else, but they're all worse than the champion, it's like, oh, well, what the fuck do we have here now? Nothing. That's like not a fun moving division, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it becomes hard, stagnant.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a very good fight at 125 pounds. I know for me, the next one that I'm most excited about, prelim opener, first fight on the card. Robelis Despain is finally back after his loss. It was a terrible loss.
Yes.
He's not good.
No, but this is going to be such an easy comeback win for him. Because he's fighting Austin Lane. He's 12-5, only been knocked out, doesn't grapple.
Yeah.
He does have one sub win, which is funny, but like 11 knockouts, 5 knockout losses. Robelis can go out there and get him the fuck out of there.
Which is hilarious, because this dude's a former football player. Go out there and fucking tackle him to the fucking ground.
Yeah.
Like, the fuck?
I don't know, but either way.
I do feel like it is going to be a Robelis Despain first round. Minute 43 via uppercut finish.
Minute 43? I don't think it goes that long. I think it's sub 40 seconds. I'm gonna go about 40 seconds is the cutoff. If it goes past 40 seconds, Austin Lane's gonna find a way to win. But yeah, it's gonna be heavyweight slop. Someone's probably gonna get instantaneously knocked out either way. So let's go. Hopefully that should be fun. Yeah. Other than that, Jean Matsumoto, he's back taking on Bracatona. That should be a pretty good scrap. See how good Jean really is at 135 pounds, because Bracatona is definitely not a fan favorite, but he is a very solid fighter. So he's able to.
4-3 in the UFC.
Yeah. So if Jean's able to remain undefeated and get it done over Bracatona, that is definitely a good step in the right direction for his career. But other than that, there is not too much else to talk about. That is all the good stuff. I hope everyone enjoyed this one. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. We appreciate everyone that does. And we will catch you on the review, hopefully with some very good Happy Francis Ngannou knockout news. Let's go! Peace out, everyone.